everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are with Katie. Thank you so much. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be
Amazing.
here.
Would you like to introduce yourself very quickly? You know who you are, where you're from?
Of course. So I'm Kathy. I'm 28 years old. I live in New York. So that's where I'm at.
Okay. Can you just really give us some context as where you were, before getting into one-on-one fitness coaching with me?
Yeah, of course. So definitely before coming to you, I was struggling a lot with just like my weight. Like I was plateauing. I was also I noticed I had a lot of body fat overall. Even though I was also like busting myself, like working out 5 days a week, sometimes even more. Very much being hectic, and I had a hectic, busy schedule. So try to make sure I was working out a lot while working, while figuring out what I should be eating. So before then, I was very much also like, am I in a large deficit? Like very much kind of like in the flows. You hear a lot of things like, what should I be doing? What should I be doing? Not really knowing what macros are. So that, yeah, it was pretty much like I felt like I was like the skinny fat. I've had that previously, which I'd mentioned to you. Like previously, I've done it also. I was just like, no muscle. I lost all the areas I wanted to keep, which was terrible. So kind of figuring out, I think it was just like also just being in that space where like, what I do, you hear so many things. And, but yeah, that's kind of what I was, struggling with before too.
I totally get that. There's just so much information out there, like just contradicts itself and yeah, I definitely get that. And what was your initial goal when we started working together, and did we hit that?
Yes. So my goal was I had been in a plateau. Like I was just doing all the things, but I was not seeing the scale move. The goal was to reach 115, which I had previously been, and I knew I felt like my best then. But also the goal of seeing muscle, like not being 115, and again, just very much slim and like not having any areas that I wanted to keep of muscle. And I'm very happy to say that, we actually went a little bit lower, 114 now, which was great. Awesome time frame. And again, I also got to keep my glutes. Like I got my muscle definition. Like I wasn't, how I was before 115. But yeah, we definitely hit the goal, if not more.
Yeah, right before your trip. That's amazing. And I mean, it's also nice to actually keep your muscle when you lose weight. That way you also have a higher maintenance and can eat a bit more after that. So yeah, all win-win. That's so good. And what basically made you reach out to me and then choose me as your coach?
Definitely. I would say overall, the knowledge that you have, like just seeing like what you post out there as well, like on your social media, on Instagram is where I found you. Knowing that like you weren't, because I've seen other coaches too, where it's like very much generic, very much a general program, very much like, this is what you have to do because I did the exact same thing, versus like, no, I know it did work for me, but I'm going to apply it for you and your lifestyle, right? Like what's going to make sense for you. But I also like how, you make it very much sustainable, right? Where I'm not like cutting everything out. I'm not like completely like, don't go out to eat, right? Don't go to do your, like, don't hang out with your friends or don't go out to your family. I know that's something you also do, right? So like, that's where I felt like, oh, like you definitely understand me, and you also understand that I am going to hang out with my family or I'm going to go out to eat. It's very much a sustainable approach, but you also know it, versus like I've spoken to other coaches where it's like, it really didn't feel like they understood or really had the actual knowledge. I mean, I'm not saying they didn't know what they were doing, because but it was very much like you actually know the stuff, and you also provide a lot of resources within being, right? Like all the modules that you provided. I think that was my favorite part too, knowing that I have, because I'm also very knowledge. Like I want to learn, right, while I'm doing it. Because a big part was like, okay, I don't want to just get to my goal and be like, oh shit, what do I do now? Or I want to be able to be like, okay, now I know what I'm going to be able to do once I get to my goal. So I think that was also my favorite part, that you gave us the resources to like learn as we're here, right? Which is my favorite part.
Amazing. Yeah, I definitely love that you had amazing results while still being able to actually eat out and go with the flow. Like I really loved that. That was amazing to see that you weren't didn't have this all or nothing mentality of I have to be like really, really good, and actually work closer to 75-25 and enjoying your life and going with the flow and going out with friends, family, and so on. So that was really nice to work with you, that you had that mindset. So yeah, that was great. And that's definitely a common struggle. Like the all or nothing, black or white mentality is really hard to work with. But yeah, came with already this expectation of I need to be able to still live my life and make it sustainable. And
Right.
yeah, that happened actually.
Yeah, no, and I think also with that being said, it was a lot of me also learning that, right? Because I think I was also like a bit nervous. I was like, no, but like I've been, very much strict version of it. Like, I was very strict before. So having someone like you to kind of guide and be like, it's okay, you can go out to eat, it's not bad. Like, just, like it's just like that also taught me a lot too. And I know, especially like throughout the times we've been together, it's always like, oh my goodness, I went out to eat and this happened and blah, blah. But it's like, then I actually see the results and I'm like, oh, like nothing happened. It was fine. Like the world's not going to end. And there were some times where you also saw where there was like so many things in my life that was happening where, again, it wasn't the end of the world. We just kicked back into it and then went right into it. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not the end of the world. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And what do you think, we kind of mentioned that, but what do you think you were struggling with the most, like before just joining?
Yeah. So definitely, kind of like I mentioned, I was working out like six times a week, and I was like, I can't literally be doing this whole time. 5 to 6 times a week, I was like running around, going here and going there, and I felt like I was just doing way too much. And then also just kind of like not knowing what to eat, or am I eating enough protein? How am I meals, I'm going out to eat, like, and again with my lifestyle. One also really big thing that you did help me with too, which is the only reason why I chose you, was because I told you like my gym gets so crowded, so I'm like, I get overwhelmed. I'm like, well, I can't do the equipment. I'm like, well, what do I do then? So like, you customizing it to me to be like, okay, we could do dumbbells. And I was like, yeah, literally, I could always have dumbbells available. Like my gym, the dumbbell area is always empty. So being able to be like, okay, I can still get a good workout in. Dumbbells are just as effective as me using equipment. Like it's, if not, and I always have that to fall back on. If I do have the equipment available, I'll go to the machine equipment. But knowing that I could do the same thing with dumbbells was very much awesome too. Cause again, it's about, for me, it was like time efficiency, right? I didn't want to be waiting at the gym for like 2 hours just to get this one equipment, versus, being able to kind of choose what works for me. So that was also one thing that I struggled with as well before.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, you definitely don't want to have like fitness and weight loss as a second full-time job. So yeah, we're gonna have
Literally.
to. Yeah, I know. It can seem so overwhelming. Like 5 to 6 times a week, that's a lot of working. A lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And what was the most impactful part of actually having me as your coach and, your support system?
Definitely the maybe a support system, the accountability too. I think with like anyone's journey, just like mine, it's like you see your weight gain, right? And like there's a fluctuation within the weight, right? Especially with like women, which I was nowhere about, and you showed me like after that where I was like, wait, I'm doing all the things, but why am I gaining weight? Or like, why did I gain an extra pound? But I was like, no, just stay consistent, and then boom, the drop would happen afterwards. Right. And like that could always be like beforehand, it's like, very discouraging because you're like, what am I doing? Why am I doing all the things and nothing's happening, right? So having someone like you to be like, no, literally just, if you just stay consistent, like it's fine. Like it could be water weight. It could have been this. It could have been like, you had a really big workout. It could have been so many different things. And it really was something like that, right? Because of course we got goal, but having someone to really much guide you, give you the reasoning as to why your weight might fluctuate, reminding you that as long as you're consistent, the results will be there, was really helpful. Personally for me too, like I was going through like different things. I was like wedding planning, work events, life things that happen, were a little bit out of my control, but having someone to be like, okay, to be there to help you along when you need to pivot, change things up, was really awesome. Like, right, to have someone like push you and keep you consistent and answer your questions. Like when you're like, wait, am I doing something wrong? Like, is something happening? Like, what can I do instead? Was definitely helpful overall, I would say.
Cool. Yeah, not being overly focused on the weight and knowing why. Because like even at maintenance that you are right now, like we see how much it fluctuates. It's like so much. And it's not like gaining fat, so I figured that out for sure.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the journey in itself and how it was?
Yeah, definitely. Which I kind of mentioned it very much. I mean, personally for me, like I was going through so many different things. So that you being there really much helped be consistent. It's really nice too for me personally was about like learning that I don't have to bust myself to be working out like 6 days a week, right? Knowing that I could get the same thing with just working out 3 days a week, 4 days a week, knowing that it could be something I enjoyed, knowing that it could change things around. Like, I think the journey really taught me that, you know, life in general will be ups and downs, but you can always change things around and still be able to get there. And you don't have to kill yourself to get there either, right? And it doesn't fully restrictive, and it's not like an all or nothing type of thing. I think that helped me out too. And even with like nutrition, like I said, I really thought I had to be eating very, very little calories. I thought I had to be restricting myself from foods that I enjoy, but it really isn't that way. Like, I still go out to like have dinner with my family, which is really important to me. I still go out to like work events. I don't have to say no to them. Like, it doesn't have to be that way. So the journey overall like taught me was there is a balance, and you can have balance, right? It really doesn't have to be overly restrictive, overly limiting, overly like anything like that. And you know, like also a lot of like that mind shift was what I found in my journey. There's like switching my mindset.
Love that. Yeah. I mean, it's not a dream body if it's a nightmare to get there and a nightmare to like, you know, actually maintain. Oh, yeah, that was a big thing as well, for sure. Yeah. And what was the biggest change that you'd say you made throughout the journey?
Yeah, let's see. In terms of, I mean, physically, I do feel like my strongest, like tonus. I feel awesome. I feel really, really great. And like I said, I think even then I was like, initially I was like, I just want to reach 115 pounds, right? But I didn't realize the end goal was like, I want to reach 415 pounds, but look awesome, right? But have like my muscles, but have that, you know, like that was like my thing. I was very much, I think at the beginning, caught up with like, I just want to be this weight, like versus like, I want to be this weight, but feel great and look great, right? Like that was like my thing that I found out. I think that was really, really awesome that I, you know, found with this journey too. And it kind of, like I said too, I know you've heard it, but like knowing that I can eat more and nourish my body and not have to bust myself. I think that was like my biggest thing, was like I can have a balance of everything.
Yeah, I totally remember when we were at like 116, 117, and you said, no, I'm done. I don't want to be like, I don't want to lose any weight. So we were back to maintenance. Like we slowly got back to maintenance. And then you texted me, oh my God, I'm eating more and I'm 14.
And I'm losing weight. Yeah, I was like, that was also wild to do. Well, yeah, I was at 116, 115. I was like, you know what? I think I feel great already. But yeah, I lost it, and I still feel freaking awesome. Yeah.
I love that. That was the favorite thing you ever said to me. Like, I'm eating more, I'm losing weight. What's going on? And what was the biggest change that you perceived around you? Just out of losing weight and, you know, feeling better and changing your lifestyle.
Yeah, definitely. So many things. So first off, my mom being like, oh my goodness, like, because before I kind of mentioned the first time I had lost the weight, I was 115, and she was just like, you like just look so skinny, like you're not, you know, eating enough. Now she's like, wait, you're eating like well, because she and I always hang out. She's like, you're eating like a balanced meals. You look so toned. You look so great. And you like, she's like, I feel that confidence from you. And I was like, yeah, I actually really freaking do. Like, I'm proud of the work. And she just sees me. She's like, yeah, this is so different. She's like, you've really been putting in the work. Like, I see the definition of your body, and you're still eating balanced. Like, the first time I've done it, it was so restrictive. So like, I was barely eating. So for her to see that and say that to me was awesome. My fiance too, being like my husband now. Well, now you're getting married in June, but he also was just like, you know, you look great, you look awesome. Because he was also been with her some time where he saw the first time I lost the weight, and it was very much like, I did not look good. I also didn't feel good. But now I feel confident, I feel great. So I think people like catching that and be like, oh my God, it's like, you lose weight, you look awesome. But it's more like you just look awesome and you just radiate, right? Like, I think that's... I'm also seeing it the same way. I think it's like teaching, I think, other people too, to be like, oh, you're coming out with us, you're eating, you're enjoying your meals, you're not like overly restricting yourself. I think a lot of people have that mindset, like if you're on a diet or if you're on a weight, like you have to like not have fun. And it's quite the opposite. So see, when I'm going hang out with my friends and they're seeing me like so enjoying my meals, like I'm still going out, like it's, again, I think that is showing them that they can actually do the same way, not be killing themselves just to get the results and feel confident. So yeah, but I think that's like the biggest change everyone sees around me too.
Win-win. I love that. That's amazing. Yeah, definitely. And just reaching that goal without making yourself miserable makes it so much easier to actually stay at that goal instead of gaining the weight back immediately. So I'm so glad that, again,
yeah,
that way. Yeah. And what advice, would you give to someone who is in the position that you were before actually starting out with me?
I would say, it takes time, right? Like it's not like an overnight type of thing where
Right.
you lose weight. It takes time. I think, even before then, again, like I would give up being like, oh my goodness, something is changing or what am I doing wrong? And, getting the help is the most important thing. Like get someone that's an expert that can help you. Because like for me, like I had work, I had wedding planning, I had so many things up. So for someone to be like, if you just do this, you'll get it. I'm like, great. One less thing I have to and I have an expert to tell me exactly what to do. Like again, someone that's knowledgeable, that can answer my questions, that can get it done and just kind of get the help. I would say, get someone to help you out versus you trying to figure it out. Because if I would have done this earlier, I would have saved the headaches and all the things I've done in the past, right? Like me researching, me trying to figure out what's working, and me stressing out as to why nothing's moving, right? Like, get someone to help you because you get the results and it's less of you stressing out and trying to figure it out on your own. It just, just getting that help is like, and it's also one less thing for you to do, right? Like one less thing for me to do was awesome. Just like being able to get that help was great.
Thank you so much. Last question that you kind of already answered, but would you recommend me to other people that, looking to transform their body and their lives? And why?
100%.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, of course. Yeah, and I kind of like I said, like that you have the knowledge, you're very much consistent. You're always following up, and I think that's really important. Have someone that's going to be there with you. Like we always communicated, right? Like we're always like, if I had something coming up, if I was worried, I know I had you there, which is really awesome. And, like also just knowing that it's also personalized to you, like you really much helped me and personalized it to me and what was going to my life versus like just something general, right? And I also think all the other resources you provide, like it wasn't just about the weight, but it was like the mindset shift, right? It's like the lifestyle change, habits that you're implementing, right? Like I know there was something we worked on was like sleeping more, right? I wasn't sleeping or resting, knowing that you can rest, right? That was the, yeah, like no. Needing that I need to rest. And I was like, oh shit, you're absolutely right. I do need to rest more. Like it was just more, there was just so much more that you provided than maybe like another coach was like, all right, let's just get you to your weight. It was like, all right, no, there's other areas you have to work on. Your relationship with food, right? Your relationship with rest, your relationship with like going out, like life, like it's really much a lifestyle change. And I think you provided a more like overall encompassing approach than it was just like the weight. Like, yes, I got to my weight, awesome, but there were just so many other things that I also helped shift my mindset to also get there. So 100%. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Really appreciate it. It was amazing. Like I really enjoyed our time.
And yeah, it's been awesome working with you. You have really shifted and taught me so much during my time. During our time together. So yeah, and I feel awesome and confident. But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And that's pretty much it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I absolutely love Katie. I'm so glad I worked with her. And if you're someone who is skinny fat and wants to end up lean and tone, or if you are overweight and wants to lose 20 plus pounds within the next 90 days without starving yourself, spending hours on the treadmill, and overall just feeling miserable or to gain the weight back right after, book a call with me down below. During this call, we'll just see if you're a good fit for the program and basically what's your goals, your needs, and so on. And if I can actually help you. Let's just get straight into it because I've done it myself, I'm doing it with clients, so why not you? And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.